What's going on, you guys? What is going on? What is going on? This is your boy, Scotty by Nature TV, and we are here for a brand new episode of Yes for the Mess, where we talk about celebrity gossip, hot topics, and all things reality TV based. I hope you guys are having a wonderful, wonderful Tuesday night. I was doing the same, but I just got finished yelling at my damn daddy on the phone, but we'll get over it. I mean, I never really just stay mad at my dad. And plus, my daddy wasn't even mad when we got off the phone. I was just trying to hurry up and get off the phone with him because he even pissed me the hell off. But however, tomorrow we'll be talking again, so it don't even matter. But he really made me mad. Like he really made me the fuck mad, but we'll get over it. Anyway, we're here for a late night live, of course. We're here to do the night shift, yes, for the mess or whatever, and we're here to talk about Funky Dineva and Carlos King as they spill the real tea about the cancellation of TGIF. Okay, and I know that's pretty much all that everybody wanted to know about and hear about and all those things. And we're gonna get into all that. Like, we're gonna listen along, we're gonna stop, give our commentary as we always do and all those things. As you all know, every live I'm expecting 100 plus people in it. We are halfway there. We're at 81 people already, and all those good things. Okay. Let me see. Once again, there are no church announcements at this particular moment, so I guess I can go ahead and get this video started right about now. What you think? If you're ready for the live to start officially, you can go ahead and put those fire emojis in the chat because they usually hypes me up. Of course, you know what I'm saying? That's what usually gets my goal when I see them fire emojis in the chat or whatever. So fire me up. And we had 94 people, so go ahead and fire me up right now. And all those things, because he said a couple of things in this interview that I wanted to talk about. I had some opinions on some of the things that he said and all that. So we're gonna go ahead and get into it. I see the fire in the chat. So let's go ahead and get this thing started. Okay. And we are at 100 plus people. So let's go ahead and get into it, y'all. Okay. I'm not gonna put the interview on the screen, but what I will do is let you guys hear it. Okay. So let's get into it.
Who would you say is a YouTube blogger that you feel like has next? Like, when you look at him or her being the legend that you are, would you say like, now that bitch is going to be not the next you still hear, but like,
just so there are a lot of people on YouTube that have a lot of talent, right? DJ Richie Sky is a great friend of mine. I love what he's got going on because he's polished.
mhm.
He's polished. Like, Funky Dineva will never be ETV material. I'll never be on ETV. I'm not that's just not what I give. I'm not, and I'm okay with that. I love him. I absolutely love Bondi Blue. Although we are not in relationship and I don't have an issue with this person, I just don't particularly care for the way they move. But there is something to say about the business that Tasha K has built. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't necessarily agree with her methods and some of the things that she does. And I spoke earlier about being in exposure culture. I don't particularly care for that, but she definitely, she has something. There's a lot of people out there that have something, like Lovely T and her reporting abilities. There are a lot of people, but even Arman Wiggins, like, Arman is good in the silo that he's good in, like that female rap stuff. He's good. That was why, when I made my departure from Fox Soul, which is perfect segue because I'm sure that's where we're going. I'm sure, but that was why I was like, this guy is good. And I don't want nobody on YouTube to get mad if I left anybody's name, and I don't want y'all to think I'm being shady. I'm going to be very honest with you, Carlos. I do not watch other YouTubers at all.
Oh, I know that for a fact.
I don't at
You
all.
never have, though.
I don't, and believe it or not, I don't consume YouTube content. I don't. And people are always like, why? And it's for several reasons. My brain is a sponge. Okay. Everything that comes out of my mouth are things that I've picked up from just my life experiences. And I never want to be on my platform and then end up like saying your catchphrase or saying other people's stuff. That's the main reason why I don't look at a lot of other YouTubers. And then too, like, because we all are in this pop culture world, after I do my piece on it, I really don't care what you got to say about it. I'm moving on to the next thing. But there's a lot of talent in the YouTube space. And then there's a lot of people who need to go sit their ass the fuck down. There's a lot of people who just need to go sit the fuck down. But I would love to see like Bondi Blue blow up. She's from New Orleans. I just love everything that she's got going on. I would
yeah, she's beautiful.
I would too. She is. Yeah. I would like to see Arman mature a little bit so he can really get everything that the universe has for him. And you know, I'll say it on camera because I'll say it to his face. Arman, you do need to grow up a little bit. You need to grow up a lot of bit. And I think once he grows up a little bit and matures, I think that the universe is definitely going to open up and give him all the things that he deserves.
This is okay. So let me stop it right here for a second, right? So Funky Dineva says that there's a lot of talent on YouTube. He said a couple of people's names that he feels are people that he can see win or people that he actually wants to see win. He said DJ Richie Sky. I can see that. DJ Richie Sky is very polished. DJ Richie Sky does give e-news material. Like, he absolutely does. And I've always said, because I'm kind of doing like a slight little rebrand or whatever I'm doing right now, trying to polish myself up and things like that. I want to be polished like DJ Richie Sky, but I also want to be or like a Campire, but I still want to remain myself. I don't know if my audience really wants to see me as polished as a DJ Richie Sky or a Campire. That's something I would aspire to be, but I don't know if that's what people will want from me. I think that people like the whole country boys from the hood with a heart of gold thing that I got going on, because everybody has their own chic and their own thing and their own judge or whatever you want to call it about themselves. And I think that that's what makes us all original in a way, because we all do the same thing, but we do it in a different way. You feel what I'm saying? So I'm not really, I'd be striving to do the things that DJ Richie Scott or Kempire or Mims are doing. But at the same time, would that be me trying to be something that I'm not? You know, because there are people out there that feel like I need to polish up, but then that's me listening to what other people are saying. So maybe I should just stay how I am, but still like clean it up just a tad bit, but not necessarily just remove myself from where I'm at. You know what I mean? But DJ Richard Sky was definitely, that's a person that everybody says. I think that a person that reminds me of DJ Richard Sky, and I always said it, is House of Aaron. I said that to Aaron before. I remember when we first met at brunch at my friend's house. I told him, I said, you give me a baby DJ Richie Sky. Like, that's exactly the vibes that you give me. Like, you remind me so much of a younger DJ Richie Sky. Like, I could see that. Like, out of all of us, I could see House of Aaron doing the whole DJ Richie Sky thing. Like, I could see him hosting something on the red carpet for E! News. I could see, like, besides DJ Richie Sky, I could see House of Aaron doing that. Like, real talk. I ain't just saying that because that's my friend. I'm saying that because that's what I see. You feel what I'm saying? He also said Bondi Blue. And y'all know how I feel about my girl Bondi. Y'all know that Bondi is funny. She's intelligent. She's smart. She gives you the real talk. And you know what I'm saying? She has this thing about her that draws you in. And that's what I always loved about Bundy Blue. And I agree with Funky when he says that she deserves her things, because she does. I think that she's now getting her things. I think a lot of us OG reviewers from the class of 2010 and 2011 are getting our things. Like, we're seeing way more visibility now than we did before. And that could be because of, like, creating connections with one another, working with one another, doing things with one another. But and there are award shows for us and stuff like that. So I appreciate Bundy for the things that she's doing and how she's still maneuvering through these streets. Because regardless of what anybody says about us, there are a lot of people that started with us that are not around anymore, and we're still kicking it, and we're still getting the views. We're still growing in some places, because people got to understand that when we started YouTube, like, it was in 2010, 2011, like, we really grew organically. Not saying nobody else is, but it's different now than it used to be back then. It was only a few of us at a time. Now it was a lot of us at the same time. You feel what I'm saying? So yes, Bundy Blue is definitely a person that I do think that deserves her things. I don't give a damn what nobody say. Like, she do deserve her things, and I'm loving what she does. Arman, y'all know that Arman is one of my biggest inspirations of today. Like, he's one of the people that inspire me today, as far as doing the content that you want to do. Y'all know that I interviewed him last year, and I was in the midst of mourning my friend. I had just buried my friend, and I was sitting up here, could barely speak, but I was up here, interviewing him, and that was an amazing experience. And I've always admired Armand. I've always admired his work and everything that he's done. And it's good to see an OG YouTuber give a person their things, their flowers, and letting them know that they see them. You know what I mean? I just strive to do what they've done. I don't want to be like them. Like, I don't want to be them, but I strive to do the things that they've done. And, I know it takes a whole lot, but I'm working on it. One of the first things is to move to Atlanta. That's what I'm doing. So I agree with the people that he did pick. Armand, DJ Richie Sky, and Bundy Blue are definitely the top 3 picks. And I agree with that. And I definitely could see those 3 people going beyond YouTube at some point. I can definitely see that, for real. So I agree with that. We can continue on.
Why do you think he needs to grow up? In what aspect have you seen that make you say that?
Just from like an older person once being young. You know what I'm saying? It's just it's not one particular thing or another. It's just there's just a small, from my perspective, it's just a small maturity factor that is missing. Coupled with, obviously, some things that I know that kind of transpired in the background with Fox Soul and all that type of stuff. There's just a maturity piece there. And this is not a read or not to be messy, but
No.
Armand, and I'm telling you, it's kind of like, granted, we don't have a big brother, little brother relationship, but if I could be in this space, a big brother, like, once he's got it, he's got the stuff.
Baby.
Armand's got the stuff.
Armand has next.
He's got the stuff.
And as 2 gay black men in this business who are successful, I agree. I think
he's definitely got it.
He has it. He's
just got to grow up.
Very talented. Have you? Well, let me go backwards. Has he ever just reached out to you for advice or
no? So he interviewed. So we met once because he interviewed me once. He came down to Miami. And so that's kind of how we fostered our relationship. And then when the Fox Soul situation came out, when he was in the running, like, we definitely did have several conversations. And I just, like, do this, do that. You should ask for this. You shouldn't ask for that. Here is the lay of the land type of thing. And I definitely, I will say this. I feel like in that situation, I did for him what I would want someone to do for me at a job. Like, I was like, here is the official handbook to how to do the job. And then here is the unofficial handbook. Here is all the backstory. Stay away from this bitch. Don't talk to this one. Watch what you say in front of this one. Ask for this, ask for that. Don't do this, don't do, like, I literally gave him all of my experience. I poured into him because I would want somebody to do that for me. You know what I'm saying? So,
and I agree with that as well, due to the fact that that I do the same thing for other YouTubers that's on the come up. Like, I have a whole segment on my channel called Young, Fresh, and New, and it's all about up and coming YouTubers that's on the rise. And that segment doesn't even get no views like that. Like, I'm lucky to see 400 views on that, but I don't do it for the views though. I do it because I want to lift these people up, because when I was coming up, I had people to lift me up. You know, I had an Ashley to lift me up. I had a Rocks to lift me up. I had a Much Love to lift me up. I had a Scorpion Show to lift me up. I had a Rocks. I had all those people to lift me up. And some of us were starting at the same time. So I had all these people to lift me up. And I try to give my hand to the other YouTubers that I see and that I feel like, oh, she's good. I like her. Like, when we did the Whether You Like It or Not panel, notice that most of those people were up and coming YouTubers. Jamie was, Niecy was, Sakina was. Most of them were up and coming YouTubers. Some of them were moderately popular, like myself, or, you know, like Jay Lee. And then you had some with an even bigger name, like Bundy and Alexander Rogers. Like, it was a mixture of all. And I love working with YouTubers that have smaller followings and people that are on the rise. Like, they're easier, in my opinion, to work with, and they're hungry. And I like that. And if I see you doing your thug thizzle and I see you really putting a lot into your content, I'm always going to do that. Just the other day, Tammy Talks has a whole panel with 3 other women, and I sat there and I watched this shit, and I enjoyed myself watching it. You know what I mean? Like, I enjoyed it, and I put it out there so everybody else can enjoy it too. Like, I'm never too big to give somebody their tens. I'm never too big to give somebody their flowers. Like, I just try to keep this camaraderie with other YouTubers as much as I possibly can. But what I do realize is that you cannot have that with everybody, because there's some people that look at you as secret competition. There's some people that just want to roast and gag you for whatever reason because they feel like you boring. Like, you got people like that just want to ride the wave off your name in a negative way so they can get an audience, when they could just work with you and get that same audience. But it is what it is. Some people just don't view the game the same way. You know what I mean? And that's just what I've seen over the last few years. Like, you can't help everybody. You can't do everything for everybody. You can't reach out to some people, because I've done it. Like, I've shouted some people out. Like, I've seen it happen. Like, I've shouted people out, you know, send people their way, then they turn around and they shade me, do all kinds of weird shit, and I'd be like, oh, okay. You know, but that don't stop me from, my heart is so big, so it don't stop me from doing that, but it just make me watch myself with everybody, because everybody don't deserve your kindness or your heart. But I do feel like I like the fact that Funky gave him that, because he's an OG. And as a person that's looked at now as an OG, I try to be that person for other folks. You know, I try to be that person for JB Says What, like Pierre. Anytime something goes wrong with YouTube, he hit me up. Chloe Johnson, Bill Perspective, like people, all those people, like I try to be that for everyone that's on the come up. Everybody that I come across that I like, I try to give them the opportunity, and that's just what it is. So I agree with Funky. I like what he said. And all he was trying to do was give Arman the ins and outs and all those different things, like trying to steer him in the right direction as an OG supposed to. So I get that.
That has been our relationship. We're not like super close and we don't talk on the phone, but I would do that for anybody that was coming in behind me. When I made my departure, I wanted that show to succeed. I did. I just didn't want to work there no more, but I wanted the show to succeed. And I knew that they needed somebody. I knew that they were going to try to mimic my energy. I knew that for a fact. But they couldn't, so don't even waste your time trying. But they needed somebody who was brazen, cavalier, not afraid to speak. And I felt like of all the people in the YouTube landscape, he or T.S. Madison were the best ones. Madison was unable to do it for whatever her reasons were.
Was Madison asked first before Arman?
Yes, from my understanding, yes. Not from my understanding, yes, she was, or whatever. And it schedule conflicts and the money wasn't right.
Okay,
so she turned it down.
Why were you so unhappy at TGIF? Because from the outside looking in, because we've known each other for almost 20 years, I know my sister, and I said, oh, this bitch got a job where he gets to clock in for an hour, read the girls, get a check. And because the biggest thing for you that I know personally is you value your freedom.
Yeah.
You love freedom.
Yeah.
And I felt like this is a good opportunity for him. And I texted like, bitch, this is actually good.
Yeah.
And I was always proud to guest co-host with you, or when you had to do other things. Yeah. Just so y'all know, when he had to do other stuff and couldn't be on, he would refer me, or sometimes they would ask him like, you okay if Carlos do it? So I want y'all to know, like, this is what support looks like. You're not somebody like that, bitch. I don't want to, Wendy Williams said so popular. I want nobody
taking my spot,
bitch.
Yeah, and see, I was never one of those types of girls, because it's just I'm good at what it is I do, and other people are good, and I'm just not like that. But
why were you so unhappy? Because I thought it was like, this is a good gig.
The infighting, and just every damn day you came to work, it was fucking something. And it's just,
and I can only imagine how the hell that probably was, like going to work, dealing with the bullshit, dealing with the drama and things like that. Nobody wants to work with someone that's always in a bag all the time. And when I mean in a bag, I ain't talking about in a bag about some money. I'm talking about somebody always creating issues. Don't nobody got time for that. Excuse me. Don't nobody got time for that. And when infighting can be a problem with any panel. Okay. Luckily, we ain't really just had no infighting on our panels. Like, for example, if there has been any kind of disagreement, we discussed it. Like, for example, like Jeremy and I, he's a water sign, I'm an air sign, so there's going to be a conflict sometimes in that situation. Like it has been situations where we had to have a conversation and we move forward. Like, it was never like no infighting, but you probably took something I said the wrong way, or you probably thought something wrong, or I probably got mad about something, and then we discussed it and moved on, because it's not just for the sake of the panels or our working relationship, but we also have a friendship too. So it's always the best thing to do to always salvage the working relationship, because if you salvage the working relationship, you can also salvage the friendship, because you cannot have a friendship and then have a fucked up working relationship. I stand firm on it. That's why it's always an open door communication thing with me. Like, because me and Jeremy think differently. So there may be some things where he may find to be offensive. I probably don't. You know what I mean? I'm less sensitive. So there's going to be a bump of the head somewhere. And I even said, this ain't nothing new. I've always said, I'm like, I say he ruffles my feathers a lot, but I still fuck with him. And that's just the truth. I do. But there have been times where we probably had to talk and then we just move on. Y'all wouldn't have known because y'all don't see it on camera. The only thing that you see on camera is us disagreeing and we're being passionate about what we say. But, when you're working on a panel, you got to keep that communication open, and you must talk about things. You have to. You feel what I'm saying? Because the audience is going to be able to see it. You know what I'm saying? And don't nobody want to go on no panel for about an hour or two and deal with no bullshit. So I'm hearing what he's saying.
Just like, it's like bitch, we only got to be on this shit for an hour and a half. I'm just not understanding why a motherfucker cannot just read the goddamn topics, come to work, do what we need to do, log the fuck out, and that just be that. You know what I'm saying? It just, things got personal, people's feelings started getting intertwined. And to be clear, and I'm not speaking out of turn because Claudia spoke about it when she was on your thing. The shit didn't have nothing to do with me. It was a lot of, just me being caught in between her shit, her and Al, whatever the fuck they had going on. And it was dumb. It was dumb to me. Okay. And so let me give you the recipe for why I walked. Number one, like you said, bitch, I ain't had no job in 13 years, okay? Q don't work. So the fact that I got to now punch a goddamn clock every day, that's already a compromise, right?
And not to stop you, you also are a solo star. So coupled with clocking in, you have to work with people.
Well, I didn't mind that. I like that.
But meaning, because I know what this feels like. Meaning, you call the shots. You can say what you want to say and do, but when you have to work with people, their shit becomes your shit.
Right. And you're right. And so you're right, because and then now I'm having to, take into consideration other people's feelings and rules and corporate protocols and procedures and all this type of stuff, whatever. So it's like, okay, number one, I, knock on wood, I already don't need the job. Okay. I don't need it. Now, great. $250,000, bitch, everybody could use an extra $250,000. But I don't need it, number one. So I'm not finna be stressed for it. I'm just not, you know what I'm saying? And it just became, I'm already working every day, Monday through Thursday, 2 shows on Thursday. Then we log on, it's a shitstorm every damn day. It's something. It's a call here, an email this person said that, I'm feeling this way. It was too much damn feelings, okay? And then the last piece was just the negotiation piece. It was like, I don't know what job you work on, at what Starbucks job. They said, Carlos King, we're going to start you at $7 an hour part-time. And then they come back and say, guess what, Carlos? We like you so much. We're going to promote you to full-time, but we're going to cut your pay to $5.15. How is it last week my value was $7? You like me. We're bringing the company in more money. You want to promote me, but you want to cut my pay.
Yeah, no, that didn't make any sense to me. Because how the fuck you gonna hire me, and then you see that I'm the one that's bringing the audience and bringing the numbers and bringing this and bringing that to the show, but then you gonna turn around and tell me at the other minute that, we're gonna dock your pay. We're gonna promote you, but dock your pay. That don't make no sense. And who would want to stick around for bullshit like that? Because I know I fucking wouldn't. Like, what the fuck is this? You feel what I'm saying? So I get it. Like, it's you're dealing with a person that is independent, as Funky Dineva is. Okay, he makes money solely off of YouTube. A lot of us, some of us don't. I mean, I make decent money on here, but honey, I'm not gonna quit. I'm not quitting my job, though. I'm not quitting my job. I love my benefits. I love my 401k. I love my pension. I love my medical, my vision, and my dental insurance and my life insurance policies. Love it. Love to be covered. So therefore, I'm not quitting my job. But I get it. Like, he works straight up from YouTube, and then he comes to a job that he really don't need, but it's the exposure and the experience of it all. And then they want to cut my pay in order for me to be bigger than what it is. You want to cut my pay in the midst of me dealing with a bunch of bullshit that I really don't have to deal with, due to the fact that I really don't need the fucking job. So therefore, it's kind of like, no. And then you want to devalue me? No, absolutely not. That's not gonna work for me. I already got to deal with the drama and the bullshit of things that ain't got nothing to do with me, and I'm already in the middle of the bullshit. But you want to take my pay down. You don't want to give me the money that I deserve. You don't want to give me what I'm asking for. You don't want to pay me what I'm worth. Absolutely not. Nobody wants to go anywhere and they're not getting what they're supposed to get. That's with any job. I remember when I was offered management again, I said, I don't want this shit. I literally said that to my manager. I'm like, I don't want this shit. And he's like, so you don't want the extra $2 to $3 an hour? Absolutely not. I was a manager years ago and I made more money now than I did when I was a manager back then. I am cool. I'm fine. I don't want the responsibility. I'm good. You can keep your little $2 to $3 because I make that shit in 6 months. I don't care. I don't want it. No. Absolutely not. Let's continue.
That just, what world does that make sense? You know what I'm saying? And so I was down to rock with it because it's all about, you know, I'll work with you. Again, I don't need the money. It's good extra money. I will work with you and see what this thing will become. So when, you know, Tracy and I, when Tracy was negotiating the deal, the people came back and said, listen, Tracy, you know, we still trying to get things going over here. Just work with us. This is what we'll do. Instead of making Q sign for 12 months, we'll make him sign for 6 months. And then at the end of 6 months, you know, we'll see what things are and we'll negotiate. Now, here is where the insult comes in just a little bit, and where I felt slightly insulted, because I was going to walk then. I was going to walk then. I was cool. So you bait me by saying, just do it for 6 months, work with us a little bit, and we'll kind of see what things are. When the 6 months roll around, I had even forgot my damn contract was up. All of a sudden, they're hounding me about, you know, oh shit, your contract. Are you going to sign? Are you going to sign? Are you going to sign? Then when you email us the contract, it's the same contract from 6 months prior. I understand it's their job to negotiate. It's our job to negotiate. Okay. I was not asking for additional money. I wasn't asking for extra money. I was asking for what you had already been paying me. You know what I'm saying? I was asking for, you know, the $250 an episode that you took away from me. And mind you, y'all, if I'm being honest, the deal fell apart over $250. Ain't that the petty of it all? Ain't that the petty of it all?
Ooh.
The deal fell through over $250.
How?
Because my rate originally was $1,250. They cut us to $1,000. I just wanted the $250 back, which at the end of the year across the contract would have been $60,000 in total. You know what I'm saying? Right. It would across episodes. And so then it was one of those things where it was like, okay, if you can't give him the $250, you know, can you at least put him on the health insurance? And the people wouldn't even put me on the health insurance. You know what I'm saying? So,
are your other co-hosts?
No, nobody was. Nobody was. But it's like, and granted, I don't know the ins and outs, but from where I sat, I'm like, Fox is a big ass corporation. To put one more name on the damn spreadsheet for health insurance, the number's going to be so damn small, you're not even going to recognize it. Like, what's another $200 a month to the damn company? And it was just like, okay, you won't even put me on the health insurance. I was like, yeah, I don't feel valued here.
And I wouldn't feel valued either. First of all, my rate was $1,250. Then you take the $250 from me. So now it was $1,000 an episode, right? So then it's time for renegotiations. And all I'm asking for is $250 back. My $250 that you took from me. That's all I'm asking you for back. But you don't even want to give me that. So then I'm trying to work with you. I'm trying to still stay the task, still trying to do my thing with you. And then I ask you, okay, if I can't get the $250, could I at least get put on the health insurance? You don't even want to do the health insurance. You don't even want to do that. So to me, it's like it's real fucked up to even try that. You feel what I'm saying? Like it's fucked up and it's not cool. You're not even gonna try to help me out. Like you're not gonna put me on the health insurance at all. Like you're not gonna do that. You just gonna sit up here and play with me like that. Like it ain't like you ain't got the motherfucking money because you got it. You got it. You just don't want to give it to me and you want to be cheap as all corporations are. That's all you want to do. No. If you're not going to give me the extra money, you could at least give me the health care. Like, what type of shit is that? Y'all don't want to give me health care? Child, a mess. Let's continue.
That's really what it was. I was like, I don't feel, damn, I can't even get on the health insurance. I was like, all right, well, cool. And they just did not want to budge. And I was like, cool, I'm out. And, you know, it sucks because, you know, unfortunately, the show ended up going away. And I just look back at it and I wonder if the people in charge look at the person who was responsible for like negotiating my contract. And it's like, the whole thing went to shit over $250 of your unwillingness to give them fucking health insurance. And the whole thing literally went to shit. That show went to shit for no reason. It didn't have to.
So going back a little bit, you obviously talked about a lot of infighting. Obviously, everyone has said, even Claudia to me, that you had nothing to do with what was going on. What in your, whether it's what you know or think, what was it between Claudia and Al that just made things so negative working at that time?
I don't know. I don't know because I know that they had a long-standing relationship for years prior. Carlos, honestly, I don't know. I honestly do not know. You know, there was an incident, and this is just from me like piecing together things from all the blogs and stuff. There was an incident where Claudia got a screenshot of a text message from Al. And in the text message, he had said, and I'm only speaking about this because she's made it be known because I don't want to be in nobody's mess. She got a screenshot from Al where he had said something unfavorable about her to Nene Leakes. Okay. And it got back, you know, Claudia saw it, and that at that time had created a big shitstorm, and we got through it. So I thought. And the reason why I say so I thought is because now in present day, a lot of what I'm seeing online is people regurgitating or repeating that Claudia says, you know, Al was talking about her and that's when shit went wrong. You know what I'm saying? And so I thought we had got over that. I'm guessing maybe we never did. I'm guessing. I don't know. But that's just.
There's been said that allegedly Al would contact producers, human resources, and do a lot of complaints and was a diva behind the scenes. Would that be true?
I don't know what was going on after I left. When I was there from my vantage point, that wasn't a thing. I'm pretty confident in saying that that's probably something that came about after I left. But when I was there, that that wasn't a thing. None of us liked the damn producers. If I'm being honest, like, so there was no buddying up to the producers because none of us liked them. That wasn't going on when I was there. Now, if it was going on after I left, I don't know.
What is it that you would like to say about your friendship with Al? Because there is this perception that, again, you know, he's a diva, he's this, and I know that you two are close. What would you say about his character and his personality and who he is that the world doesn't see or may not know?
So I don't think, me personally, I don't think that Al is a diva. And he didn't exemplify diva qualities when we were there. Honestly and truthfully, when I was there, Al was the most insecure of the three of us. You know what I'm saying? And he was always like, kind of like worried, you know what I'm saying? Like worried that he wasn't doing good, or worried that people didn't like him, or
well, I'll be the one to tell you I didn't like his ass, and I still don't like him. So let's just be honest with it when it comes down to that. And I definitely believe that Al is a fucking diva. I believe it. 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 I believe he was a damn diva behind the scenes. I could see his ass being one. Okay. So if he was worried about somebody not liking him, honey, my ass still don't like him. Okay. Period. I do not like Star Jones's husband at all.
You know, he always had to have his notes and stuff, and he always kind of felt, you know, a little inferior to Claudia and I, because he was like, you know, you guys are more experienced than this. You know, I did not experience any diva-like behavior when it came from Al. Like I said, after I left, I don't know what happened. And I can't speak about anybody else's relationship and experience. I have not experienced Al in that way. Me and Al, obviously, we've got being LGBT in common. Al's a good time. He liked to drink and he liked to party. And those are things that I like to do. You know what I'm saying? And that really is the level of our relationship. Are me and Al on the phone telling each other our deepest, darkest secrets? No. And as a matter of fact, I didn't even talk to Al in about 2 or 3 weeks. I FaceTimed him last night and he was out. He didn't answer the phone. So, you know, we're cool. This thing that me and Al are so damn close. I know we're not. Like, you know, I would like to be. I mean, our relationship is growing. But Al is just a good time. It's a good time. The same way me and you, bitch, meet me at the bar, bitch. Let's go have some drinks and eat. That is what Al is to me. He's a good time.
Yeah, and my time guest co-hosting, the times I've had, he was fine.
Yeah.
Al's cool. Al's great. I don't have any issues with Al. Al's a great person. Al's very prepared.
Yeah, but he got his notes and stuff.
And what I saw with this show that I love so much, I felt like it was the perfect balance.
It was.
I'm like, you're the wild card who, like, we don't know what he's gonna say. Claudia, great moderator, and Al brought the sophistication. And I thought it checked all the boxes.
And I never had an issue working with her. And I think even Claudia shared it. Even after I left, I was like, listen, guys, you know, this particular situation didn't work out because of the contract, but in the future, if y'all ever want to, you know, do something again, we had lightning in a bottle, Carlos. We really did. We really did. We did. We had lightning in the bottle. And honestly and truthfully, you know, the right opportunity came around, and if we were able to recreate it under the right circumstances, I'd be open to it. It was fun. The culture needed it. And here was the thing that's unfortunate. There was the space was wide open. Wendy Williams, she gone. The Breakfast Club was in flux. Okay, they were auditioning 900 damn people at a time. That urban pop culture like space, that space was wide open, and it was ours for the taking. It really was. You know, something else that was slightly frustrating too, and another reason why I decided to walk and not stick it out with Fox Soul is because nobody was giving us a clear direction on what we're doing. Are y'all taking this show to TV? We've been here now for 4 years. What are we doing? You know what I'm saying? Is the network growing? Is it? And every time we would ask questions, people would just talk in circles. And so another layer to me walking away is, I don't need you to sit on YouTube. Okay. If anything, I'm trying to elevate beyond YouTube. I don't need you for YouTube. And I'm not being cocky. I'm not being arrogant. I'm not trying to be any of those things. But the lion's share of the people watching are my audience. I brought these people here.
That's
you
true.
know what I'm saying? Like when Fox Soul started, they had everything they had going on. And here is the proof in the pudding, because there were some incidences where, you know, people were feeling themselves and didn't want to give a bitch their things. Okay. You had Queens with Cocktail, which was Vivica Fox, Selena Johnson, Lisa Ray, and Claudia Jordan. Undeniably, all four of those women individually have a much higher profile than I do.
Absolutely.
Undeniably.
Yep.
But collectively, they couldn't even do the numbers that we were over there doing on TGIF. You see what I'm saying? So it's one of those things where your popularity per se ain't got shit to do with what's going on right here. You see what I'm saying? And when I left, the numbers left. Those were my people. Those were my people. So why am I going to just sit here with all of this going on? You know, the contract ain't looking too right, and just continue to let y'all leech off of my damn people when I can just take my people back to where they came from and keep the money. You see what I'm saying? And then what ended up happening is, I'm like, well, I was already making whatever it is I was making. And then things got a little messy. I'm not going to lie. I started doing my show at 8 o'clock at the same time as theirs to be messy, bitch. I was being.
We already knew that.
I can appreciate that. When we are messy,
oh yeah,
we can say, well, that was messy.
Yeah.
That other thing I'm talking about.
I said, oh, really? Oh, bitch, I'll fix you. I said, bitch, like Rasputia Latimer said, she want to go down the slide. I'ma show a bitch how to go down the slide. You know what I'm saying? And so, and then it was like, well, you know what, Q, you were already sitting in the chair at 8 o'clock every night, any goddamn way. Keep it going. You know what I'm saying? You were over there doing this same job, getting $250 for them. You can just do it for yourself and make $5. You know what I'm saying? Keep all the money. And that's essentially what I did.
Okay. When you saw Arman's roast,
I can honestly say that we all knew that he was being messy when he did that. There was some petty ass shit. I can't say that I'm mad at it though.
To Al, what was your first thought?
A battery was put in his back. A battery was put in his back. These are my thoughts. Can't prove it. Don't know for a fact. I thought a battery was put in his back. I thought it was deeply personal. I thought it was extremely unprofessional. I thought it was completely I thought it was gross. I thought it was gross. And the reason why I thought it was gross is because obviously having had work there, a lot of the things that he was saying, he had not even been there long enough to experience or even know what the fuck he was talking about.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's just the things that were coming out of his mouth had trappings of somebody gave him this information. He simply had not been there long enough. And going back to our earlier conversation when I was talking about the maturity piece, that's the thing right there. Like I laid out for Arman everything he needed to do to be successful at that show. And in my opinion, he went there and did the complete opposite. And I'm very disappointed in him for it. I am, because I rooted for you. I rooted for you when there were actually people working against you being there. And I informed him that there are people who don't want you there. There are people who are going out of their way to not have you here.
That is very true. Now, let me just be real with you. That is very true. There was a lot, and I do mean a lot, of people that did not want to see Arman succeed. You can just look on YouTube and see that. And I ain't being messy, and I ain't throwing no shade. But there was a lot of people that felt like he did not deserve that fucking job. But we're gonna be honest. We're gonna be honest. There's a lot of people that felt like he did not deserve that fucking job. A lot of people. And the fact that you went on there and you did what you did, and then ultimately the show got canceled, that didn't do anything but prove these people right. They all said that you was gonna fuck it up. They all said that you don't have no control over yourself. They all said that you're gonna find a way to ruin it for yourself. And once it got canceled, they was really pointing all the fingers at you. They weren't even pointing the fingers at really Claudia like that. That was really pointing the fingers all at you and saying that you the reason why it's up because of the roast that you did to Al. Now it's just like, now Funky is one to talk because he did that disgusting shit he said about Kiki. Now he ain't really got no right to say shit about what nobody said, but at the same time he's not lying when it comes down to people not wanting Arman in that position or people feeling like he didn't deserve that position. And by him going out doing what he did, he didn't do nothing but prove them right. And that's very unfortunate.
Told him who the people were and everything. And then I told him everything he needed to do to be successful there. And you went up there and drank the Kool-Aid and got lost in the sauce and did the complete opposite. And if I'm being honest, was a major contributing factor as far as I can see as to why the shit got canceled.
You think it's his fault?
I don't think it's his fault. Okay. I don't think it's his fault. I think that he was a major contributing factor. That roast was just, in what world do you go to your job and do that? A mature person who was looking at the future of the collective, the show, and the energy of three people who have to get along, a mature person would have never done that. They simply would not have done that. You can't tear up the chemistry. There was no bouncing back from what was said to Al.
We all said that.
And not that you're speaking for Al. We all heard when he called you, baby. And the reason why, again, guys, you guys have proof he's not messy. A messy bitch would have made sure that I got the exclusive. Al is on. I keep telling him I'm live, and he keeps talking. You literally said, stop. I'm live. I will call you back. Obviously, he was upset based on what we heard out of his own mouth. When it comes to that roast, I honestly was like, oh, okay, it's a rose. Because again, I don't know the history or whatever. I don't watch TGIF. I did not watch TGIF enough to know that a lot of that was rooted in reality. I just thought like it was grossly exaggerated until I was informed that no, motherfucker, a lot of that was
a lot of it, all of it.
Yeah,
all of it. Like it was like, yeah.
When you learned that it was officially canceled, what was the first thought that went through? Like, was it a thought of sadness or I told you so, bitch? Or
listen, I'm human. I have natural emotions. Vindicated. You know, my first response was, had them hoes gave me my $250, the shit wouldn't have been canceled. I'm just keeping it real. I had them hoes gave me my $250 or put me on the damn health insurance, the shit wouldn't have been canceled. That was my first thought. You know what I'm saying? And then the second was like, you know what I'm saying? Damn, this just did not have to be like, I was disappointed in everybody. I'm like, y'all let the shit fall apart in 5 damn months after I left, 5 to 6 months. And then coming off the roast, I'm like, this shit just didn't have to be. I after feeling vindicated, I felt frustrated. I was like, because this is stupid. And y'all had something and it could have taken everybody to the next level. Y'all could have, I could have been like Portia, took a season off and came back the next season. After them girls that got a TV schedule. I'm like, girl, child planning on maybe coming back. You know what I'm saying? I was disappointed. I was disappointed. I was like, y'all hoes need y'all job. I was like, Arman, this is great next level for you. Al, you don't work in TV. And granted, you know, Claudia does her thing. She does well. But Claudia does like movies and stuff. That's gig work. You know, you get a gig here. You may not work for a few months. You get another gig. It was a nice, stable paycheck for everybody. I'm not reading. It's a nice, stable paycheck. And I'm like, y'all fucked y'all check up over dumb shit. Who can't use an extra $250,000?
Baby, I don't care what you
know.
make.
So I just feel like it was a dumb reason. And honestly and truthfully, I feel like the person that lost the most in the situation was Arman, because he had the most to gain from it.
That's true.
Do you think he can move on from this?
Most definitely.
Okay.
Listen, your talent will always prevail. He's got the talent. Most definitely.
Okay.
Most definitely. But I just feel like in this situation, he had the most to gain.
What's next for you though? Because everything happens.
Okay, so I think that's it. That's all. So what I got from this whole thing is that Funky felt vindicated when the show ended. Funky was disappointed that the show ended the way that it did. And I don't really think that he's regretful of his co-sign of Arman. I think he's just disappointed because he rooted for him and he wanted him to win. And if we're being honest, when you root for a person and when you really want them to win and when you really want them to do well and you see great things for them, I just feel like it's always a slap in the goddamn face when you root for them up and they put their ass in your face and it stinks. It's so many people that I've seen on here that I rooted for and I really saw something in them, and then it's just like, you dumb motherfucker. You feel what I'm saying? Like, you dumb mother. Like, really? Like, this is what we're doing right now? Like, really? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's ridiculous to even be in that predicament, in that position, like to even be on some shit like that. You feel what I'm saying? So I'm just like, no, it's crazy, you know. So that has to be the most disappointing thing, to see someone that you really rooted for and really poured into turn around and not even do the things that you really thought that they could do. You know what I mean? So I get Funky on that completely. You know, when you see it for somebody and they just go the opposite direction, it's just weird. But you know, let's call a thing a thing. But I do agree when he says that Arman had the most to gain, because Arman is on the come up. He's the next in line to be bigger than YouTube. And that was a great opportunity for him. Now, do I think that he can move forward? Absolutely. Will it be hard for him to get another job? Just like Funky Dineva said, talent will always prevail. And I do think that Arman is among some of the most talented people that's on YouTube. And I think that he will shine somewhere else. He already showed that he could shine enough to get the gig with TGIF. And I feel like he can shine and get another gig somewhere else, to be quite honest. So I have no qualms about that at all. I think that Funky was well within his rights for the reasons why he left TGIF. Like, it was more than the money thing. They didn't want to give him the money, but they didn't want to give him the insurance either. And I feel like that's whack as fuck. And I agree with the top 3 folks that he chose as far as the bloggers that he loves and the ones that he got next. I pretty much agree with just about everything that Funky said in this particular interview. And I saw the other half of it. It was pretty good, but I know that everybody wanted to know what the real tea was about this damn TGIF stuff. So this is the one time that I did agree with everything that Funky said, because let's be real, you know, the consensus around this bitch is that people are afraid to call him out, or is afraid to disagree with him on things. And one thing about it, and 2 things for certain, I have definitely done commentary on Funky Dineva, and there were times where I agreed, and there were times where I was like, okay, Funky, you said some fucking bullshit. Like, this was some stupid shit that you said, and I'm gonna tell you why it's stupid. I ain't never been afraid to call him out. I ain't never been afraid to agree with him at all. Like, I respect him for what he does. Like I said, like Arman, he is one of my inspirations as far, and I look up to him because of what he's done with the YouTube platform and how he's made himself be bigger than just YouTube. So I will always give him his 10s on in that regard. But he's a human being too, and being that he is bigger than YouTube, he's up to talk about. So I feel like whenever I disagree, or whenever I feel like he needs to be called out on something, I'm gonna do that. Like, I ain't never scared to do that. So, you know, it is what it is, but I still respect him a lot. But this is the one time I agree with everything that he said. He wasn't wrong in any aspect in this interview, which is very refreshing if you ask me. But anyways, you guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the show. It's one of my little lazy shows where I just played the audio, gave my commentary as I went. But I hope you guys enjoyed the show. And that's about it, you guys. So and as a matter of fact, while I was on live, one of the cast members from Love and Hip Hop hit me up in my DMs and they said they liked my review. Wow. Shout out to me. Okay. Scotty, have you ever met Funky? Never met Funky anywhere. Never met him before, but yeah, never met him. But yeah, so that's about it. So shout out to that person from Love and Hip Hop that just watched my review and loved it. Okay, shout out to me. Shout out to me. But anyway, y'all, we're about to go ahead and get up out of here. So with that being said, this is your boy Scotty by Nature TV. Be sure to like, rate, comment, subscribe, share this video, and also click on the notification bell so you can be notified whenever video drops. And if you want to follow me on any form of social media, my Twitter, my Instagram, and my TikTok will be down below. With that being said, you guys, your boys up out here, and I will see you guys on the next live. Bye, y'all.